Here it is, the strawberry letter.
Thank you, nephew. My children are inconvenient is the subject. Dear Stephen Shirley, I'm 51 years old. I'm a married woman, and I've been with my husband for 7 years. We met at a rap concert while picking up our daughters, who were both 16 at the time. He and I started talking about how we shouldn't have let our daughters go unchaperoned. My daughter and her friends came out first, and he got my number before I walked away. We instantly clicked, and he proposed a year after a year of dating. Our daughters didn't know each other, so they demanded separate bedrooms as we struggled to blend our families after marriage. Right now, we live with two 23-year-old women, and he has a son that is 19, and he comes and goes as he pleases. When he breaks up with his girl, he's back on our couch for a few weeks. All of our bedrooms, all of our closets, and 2 storage rooms have been taken over by grown children. My husband and I are a decent couple, and my man works hard, and so do I. We brought our children up in the church, and we made sure they went to college. All 3 of them dropped out. Our girls smoke weed, and I'm sure our son does too, but he's just better at hiding it. The girls smoke in our backyard, and the neighbors used to complain, but now they just accept it like we do. I talked to my husband about us selling our house and downsizing to a condo so these freeloaders won't have any space, but he's got a soft spot for these grown, lazy women. I want to redo our kitchen and den, but I refuse to make our home nicer until the freeloaders leave. I don't feel bad for them because they're a major inconvenience at this point. They have no way to take care of themselves if we put them out. What can we do to get these grown-ups out of here? Wow, this is a really sad letter. Smoking weed in the backyard, not working. This has got to stop right now, okay? And downsizing to a nice condo sounds really nice. And I got to ask, where's their mother? She probably doesn't let them take advantage of her space like you guys. You and your husband have to present some sort of united front. I know you said your husband has a soft spot, but you all got to get this together so you can talk to these entitled, spoiled kids. You got to let them know things are about to change. The free ride's over. You got to set a deadline for them to get it together and get out. They need jobs. They need apartments so they can get out as soon as possible. They should start looking now. You as parents are enabling them. That's what you're doing. You have these kids have no incentive to get out. They have free meals, free room and board. They can smoke weed whenever they want to. You guys don't say anything. I mean, what's their incentive to leave? I mean, the son does have a place to live, so you definitely shouldn't be letting him come and go as he pleases. I know you love your kids. We all love our kids, but there does come a time when we have to let go so they can spread their wings and get started on their own path, on their own journey. They'll figure it out. They will figure it out, as we all did, and they'll thank you later. All right? But you got to tell them to get out now. Set that deadline and stick to it, you and your husband together as a couple. Steve?
All of us on this show that have adult children know what this letter's about. Mm-hmm. And we're sick of this type of letter.
Yes.
We feel for you. We understand you. We empathize with you. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I've had to do some things. Now, let me tell you something. It ain't all these, because I'm all through this letter. I had blended family, all this here. So, here we go. Y'all met at a rap concert. Both of y'all 16-year-old daughters was at the concert. Y'all met waiting on them to come outside. Your daughters came out first with her friends. You all clicked. He asked for your number before you walked away. A year later, you all were married. Your daughters, who were both 16, didn't really know each other, so they demanded separate bedrooms as we struggled to blend our families after marriage. Blending a family is not easy. Mm-mm. Especially the older they get, the more opinionated they are, and they have personalities, and they not necessarily would have been friends. They just became family. The thing with family is you don't get to pick your family. You do get to pick your friends. So when you throw them into this situation, it is going to be some difficulties. Right now, after 7 years, you live with 2 23-year-old women, and he has a son that's 19, come and go as he pleases. He break up with his girlfriend. He's back on our couch for a few weeks. All of our bedrooms, all of our closets, 2 storage rooms have been taken up by grown children. My husband and I have a decent couple, and my man works hard, and so do I. It's just so much going wrong in this letter. First of all, they've been at y'all's house way too long. Now, I'm offering you a solution when we come back, but let me say this first. We brought our children up in the church. Okay, so much for that. So much for that. I don't even know why you put that in there. I don't know if that was supposed to change something because you brought them up in the church. You can bring them up in the church or you can bring them up in the club. When they ain't doing what they supposed to do, they ain't doing what they supposed to do. And we made sure they went to college. All 3 of them dropped out. Okay. So now, you're making adult decisions on your own. Then it is time for adult consequences. When I come back, to me, this whole letter is about consequences. And you have to allow, and I've learned this as a parent, you have to allow for the consequences to occur. It's the only way they're going to learn. And it's not consequences that you inflict, it's consequences that happen from their decisions. We'll go over this one. This is where your consequences have to begin. The one thing I've taught my children is this: the older you get, the more dire the consequences. So you can make the mistakes as a child and then your parents will help you. But the older you get, my man, the more dire the consequences. And I'm not going to stop the consequences from happening to you. So once they decided to drop out of college, then guess what they needed to develop then was a plan of action, since you don't want to go to college. But they ain't had one, and you all didn't allow them to have one because you all let them come back to the home. Now all 3 of them dropped out, and now they smoking weed, and you sure your son does too. He just better at hiding it. The girls smoke weed in y'all's backyard, and the neighbors used to complain, but now they just accept it like we do. Really? Seemed to me like you need some rules at your house. See, you can stay here, but these are the rules at our house. You can't smoke weed in the backyard. It's no longer acceptable. And if you smoke weed in the backyard, we're going to put you out. But they ain't got no consequences, so they do what they want to do. Now, you say you've talked to your husband about selling your house and downsizing so you can get rid of these freeloaders because they won't have any space. But he got a soft spot for these grown, lazy women. I'm assuming that you don't. That's why you wrote the letter. You want to redo your kitchen and den, but you don't want to make the place nicer until the freeloaders leave. I don't feel bad for them because they have a major inconvenience at this point. They have no way to take care of themselves. This is where you and I have a problem. They have no way to take care of themselves. Well, that's not true. They do have a way once they have to find a way. Mm-hmm. I'm going to repeat that. They do have a way once they have to find a way. But as Shirley said, you've enabled them. So now they ain't got to find a way. We're in the backyard smoking weed. We got a roof over our head. We got something to eat, and we can get around. So what do we need to do anything for?
Right.
If we put them out, what can they excuse me, I'm sorry. They have no way to take care of themselves if we put them out. What can we do to get these grown-ups out of here? First of all, you need to set a deadline. Mm-hmm. That's for starters. You all have 6 months to find a job. Whoever doesn't have a job will be staying with the one that does have a job. But everybody got 6 months to find a job. Secondly, you and your husband stop cooking at home and y'all go out to dinner. I don't care if it's to go up to Popeyes. I don't give a damn if it's to go get salad at Wendy's salad bar. I don't give a damn if it's to go to Jim and Nick's. I don't care what it is. Y'all need to stop cooking. Starve their ass out. See, stop making conveniences.
Yep.
So stop cooking, go out to dinner, set a deadline. And then they have to realize consequences. You have to allow life to hand them what they putting in. See, you get out of life what you put in. So if you don't allow your kids to suffer consequences, Daddy, can I borrow some money? What you need? And then they tell me, I'm under no obligation to give you the money. It depends on what's happening in your life. And I'm telling you right now, for the most part, I force them to figure it out. I force them to figure it out. And you know what they go do? They go and figure it out.
Yes.
Because you know what we all did? We all struggled to give our kids a better life than the one we had. Mm-hmm. And in that process, we created a safety net for them that we didn't have. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And so now, guess what they do? They keep diving and laying in the damn net. Yep. And that's all they do. because they think they smart and they take advantage of the safety net. You have to remove the net.
True.
I'm sorry. It's the only way to make it happen.
Yep.
And let them figure it out. That's the only way to do it. Deadline, you got to get your ass out.
That's right, Steve.